So this is actually going to be a part one, part two video. I know that as a classroom teacher, it really bothered me that I had to come up with ways to type great notes for my students in Seesaw to let them know that I'd looked at their items, but also to give feedback. What I discovered is that a lot of the feedback that I was giving my students was almost always the same. And so I thought for the primary age classroom, sometimes it's fun for using stickers. So I'm going to go ahead first and create some stickers inside using Google Slides. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to title it because I like to be able to make sure that I've got some sort of um, title for anything that I create. So I'm going to call these Seesaw stickers. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come through and I'm going to get rid of the text boxes. And one of the suggestions that I got from Chris Zajner is to change the size of the page to a 10 by 10. And the reason why is that he said, and it was a good point, was that if you have a square sticker, it kind of gives you a consistency in the setup. Rather than being a slide, it's a sticker. He also mentioned that it gives you better overall clarity in the image. So I'm just going to use this as my base sticker, and I'm going to use my Bitmoji extension. So I go on up to my Bitmoji extension, and I'm going to grab some different things that I want my kids to have as a sticker. Now, the nice thing about here is that you can click and you can drag it and just put it right onto that sticker. Now, these are PNGs, which means that the background is invisible. It's transparent. So here I am, I'm going to be pointing to a message. Now I'm going to come on up to my line tool and I'm going to create something that kind of looks like a Post-it note. And I'm going to use the polyline feature. And I'm going to go ahead and draw, and it's by clicking. So I'm going to click, click, drag, and click. And I'm trying to just create something kind of crazy, geometrical, that looks like it's a big Post-it note. And I'm going to be pointing to that Post-it note. Well, clearly I need to send that to the back. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to send it to the back because I want my hands to be pointing on the front side of this. And then I'm going to play with just a little bit of color. I think I might actually keep it gray. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this a light gray, and I'm going to make the line, I'll keep this the light gray. I'm going to make the line the darker gray, and I'm going to even make that a little bit thicker of a line. And I'm going to go with just a gray Post-it note. Now, one of the things that they suggested creating here was some sort of tape look, and it's really a fun look. You're using that polyline again, and you're going to draw kind of like you just grabbed a piece of tape off of a tape dispenser and stuck it on this Post-it note. So again, I'm just clicking and dragging and I'm kind of giving it a crazy shape. Now, what I learned on this is that you want to make your tape a little bit transparent. So I'm going to give it a different color. I think I'm going to go with something kind of fun. Maybe we'll do a purple this time, but the big pieces, you want it to be a little bit transparent. So when you click on custom, you can make your tape see-through because a lot of our tape is just that, see-through. I'm also going to give it that darker color of purple outline. So there is my tape, and I'm going to do that with my tape down here as well. And I'm going to go back to that same purple. It's going to be custom, so it actually remembers, and I'm going to make that tape look kind of fun and give it a great color. And now I can grab any type of text I want to put onto this Post-it. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab a text box and drag a text box on here. And I'm going to say, great job. And I want, or have a great work, great work. And I'm just going to go ahead and type great work. And you know, if I do it this way, I'm going to show you two different ways. You can go ahead and I can grab a fun font and I can make it really, really big. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, actually make make it 96. And this is where you get to play a little bit, but go with something that you think is gonna look, I don't know, pleasing to the eye when you put it on your Post-it note. You might even want to change this and make it look like a font that you would use if you were writing. Some of the fonts that you will come up with will look better than others, and you can be zany and you can find some really great items there. Now, I also could go ahead and I could insert images. So do remember that if you save all of your images on, say, your desktop of your computer in a really good spot, I like to save all of my Seesaw icons in a folder labeled Seesaw icons. I can even go through and I can find wonderful icons that I've been using in my Seesaw activities for my kids. So I can come up with some different items here that I might want to throw onto my Post-it. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag that, and I'm even going to put that here because I want to tell my kids, great work in Seesaw. So I'm going to play around a little bit and just work with how this is going to look. I'm just going to click and drag it a tiny bit. Maybe I'm going to make my Seesaw a smaller Seesaw. Okay. So I want my kids to know, hey, you're doing a great job in Seesaw. That's really cool. Way to go. And what I do now is when nothing is clicked or selected, I'm going to go to my background and I'm going to make sure, and this is important, that I make my background transparent. When I make my background transparent, this is now one huge sticker. Now, if you want to make them easy to replicate, come on over on the side and duplicate your slide. Change your Bitmoji, change the message, flip things around a little bit. So really fast, I can go ahead and get rid of this Bitmoji. I can grab a different Bitmoji and I can find something like, for example, maybe something, oh, I'm going to celebrate that the kids did an awesome job. Say yes. Or maybe I want to do something really cute for Halloween. You could do all kinds of really great things. There's an excellent that is me dressed up as a funny Dracula. You find what you want to put on your screen and then go ahead and move it around. So for example, I could change this up and put myself over here. Again, all I have to do is click and drag. I can click all of these items. I can move, I can change colors. So you don't have to keep creating the same Post-it over and over again. You can click on that Post-it if I can ever grab a hold of that Post-it and click it and then move it on over. I might get rid of my Seesaw Post-it. I'm going to move myself way over. So I'm going to go ahead and I can get rid of the great work. So tell it to go away, and do consider that you could flip your Post-it. You can change the angle of your Post-it and now it looks really different. Change the angle of your tape. It looks different. You can replicate things and make life easier for yourself. You just have to think outside the box. I'm going to change the color of my tape. I'm going to make my tape red now, and I'm going to make it transparent again, but this time I'm going to make sure that it's a different color. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit that red. I'm going to hit here, custom, bring it transparent, make it fun tape. Now I'm going to come up here, and because it remembers, I'm going to click there, and now my tapes are the same. I'm going to change my red outline to be red outline. Boom. And now I'm going to change my gray Post-it. My gray Post-it note is going to become a crazy green Post-it note. And I'm going to give it the same kind of focus, but now I'm going to come and bring myself over. And maybe this one is going to be amazing work. It could be that you forgot something. You can change it to however you want your Post-it note to look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab another. Oh, actually, you know what? This time I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to insert word art because that's another option that a lot of people will want to do. I might want to say fantastic. Fantastic. And an exclamation mark. So I'm going to go ahead, and now you even get more fun because you can play with these great word arts, and you can really change them around quite a bit. So I'm going to pick up that blue that is in the hand that I have, and I'm going to play around a little bit with that really fast, and I'm going to change the font. Let's make it something different, and I'm going to slide that, rotate it a little bit so that it goes with so that it goes with the image. And then maybe I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to slide it on down. I'm going to put myself in the front, so I'm just going to slide myself to the front to make sure that I'm in the very front and the fantastic slides behind, maybe a little bit. Okay, here I am. Fantastic. And I want to go ahead and celebrate my kids. The cool thing is that when I went ahead and I took from this slide to this slide, my background is already transparent. I can go back in and double check it, but my background is transparent. Now, here is what you have to do. Make as many stickers as you want to. You're going to go ahead, select your slide, click on File, and go over to Download. And download this as a PNG. It is going to download it onto your computer, and it will save it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to download it. Make sure you download it as a PNG. And now you have big stickers to use in Seesaw. So I'm going to do a follow-up video in just 1 second and show you how you can put those in to your Seesaw as really fast grading comments in slides or in Seesaw.